everyone. How are you? Can you hear me? Hear me in the back? All right. Okay, good. My name is Molly Eckert. I am a vice president with Preservation of Affordable Housing. We are here this morning to test the occupancy limit of this room, to break in the furniture, and to celebrate the fact all the hard work and resources and time and talent that takes just to get to a moment like this, sitting in a building like this today, to wonder at all the people whose lives will intersect with this building, the people who live here and work here, the people who are already living here, helping us work out the kinks. We have then to celebrate, kind of to wish blessings on them in their many years of living and working in this building. And finally, to pledge our commitment as preservation of affordable housing to the people that live here, to this community, which we've been so privileged to be a part of here for the last several years, getting this building built. This was a true partnership with the city of Chicago. It could not have gotten done without the vision of the Department of Planning and the mayor's office over the years that saw this vacant lot and saw the possibility of more housing, new housing in the Garfield Park neighborhood. We could not have done that without the 15-year alderman of this community, Alderman Irvin, who is our champion, who made sure we did this right, who made sure that we engaged the community, that we did everything the right way, has been with us in ways big and small every step of the way. And so it's my privilege to introduce him here first, to welcome everyone. So Alderman Irvin, thank you. And I would like to acknowledge also Treasurer Conyers Irvin, who's here as well. Thank you for supporting this community.
Thank you for doing that so I don't get in trouble for that. But again, welcome to Fifth City Commons. And this is a particularly proud moment for me being a resident of Fifth City. I live about a half a block from here. And so this particular development was something that generally I kind of stay on the fringes of things, kind of letting everything play out, but because I live here, it was of utmost importance that it have all of the participation, all of the things that you want to see, and this is about, and if you go back historically and look at Fifth City, it was designed and working with the Ecumenical Institute and how a community can flourish and be part and work together. So this particular project was a culmination of all of that. I actually this morning kind of looked back at some of my notes in my on my files and saw that this conversation actually started in 2018. Just think about that. This conversation started in 2018, and normally what we find, because this was a part of an international competition, we find that we generally, they basically deliver to us based on their standards, what they thought this should be. And it took us some time as a community to come around the concepts of what C40 initiative was and is, and about passive home and all of those different things. But what I can say today, after walking through again this beautiful facility, is that it was definitely the right choice, it was definitely the right decision, and it was definitely the right place for such a development. So I want to give those members of this area in East Garfield Park, Fifth City, a hand for seeing the vision through. But also being part of Fifth City, we know this is an area that has been long on community engagement, going back, as I said, through the 60s. And I had a conversation with Isaiah Thomas, who was also a resident here in Fifth City, and we talked about some of the things that happened then and how they have flourished today, and some of the consistencies of the 60s as they look today. And again, history is only repeating itself, and I always believe that if we get the west side of Chicago on track, the rest of our city, the rest of our communities can flow. And this is a down payment on what we can see as we continue to work together. And this is not the end of anything. We are in process and creating greater progress. As we talk about not just this location, we look across at that vacant lot across the street and continuing phase 2, and we still got a little more land going down Fifth Avenue for phase 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8, so that we can continue the affordable development, that we are not displacing people who are indigenous to this community, who've been here for years, given an opportunity to participate in the wealth and the largesse that comes about when we all work together to bring things forward. So again, I just want to thank everyone that was part of this process. I know that this was actually one of the mayor's first groundbreakings we did on that rainy, I mean, it was rain and mud that day when we came out here about a year and some change ago. But to see this come to fruition, to see what happens when community collaborates, when government, the community, and the development community come together, this is what is possible. So again, I want to thank the Department of Housing, Commissioner Castaneda for her leadership, Bill Eager and his team from POA, our development team with Ashlar and Skinder, everyone that worked together to make this possible. And again, I finally want to thank the residents of the East Garfield Park Fifth City community for making this happen on today. But as they say, there's only so much you can do as a legislator and being part of a legislative branch. You can't move anything forward without the execution. And when they talk about executive, it's about execution, because we need folks to execute the things that we legislate. So I told them we can pass tax credit deals all day long, but if the execution doesn't happen, it means nothing. And so let me bring you the man that does the execution here in the city of Chicago. Let's bring it up for our Mayor Brandon Johnson.
All right, thank you very much, Alderman Irvin, for your leadership. Folks have been asking me for the last 20 months what my nickname is. Now it's officially disclosed, so you don't have to FOIA that. Apparently my nickname is the Executioner, so thank you, Alderman Irvin, for setting that straight. You put the press at ease now. They don't have to go through my text messages. All right, thank you to our wonderful city treasurer, Melissa Conyers Irvin, for being here. And I am so grateful. First of all, good morning, everyone. To be back here after being one of my first stops back in 2023 for the groundbreaking on this development. I'm truly honored to be here again to celebrate the opening of course, the Fifth City Commons. You know, just this past Wednesday, I sat down with some housing advocates and developers and other elected officials to discuss ways in which we can create more affordable and sustainable housing for our residents. And so it's really great to see this major milestone come to fruition, more affordable housing options for the people of Chicago. You know, I do want to thank again Alderman Irvin for your leadership, the team at Preservation of Affordable Housing Incorporated, the project partners Perkins and Will, NIA Architects and Skinder Construction, and the community leaders who have made this project become a reality. You know, the city funded, projects truly exemplify my administration's commitment to housing equity and affordability. I've always said that safe, affordable, and sustainable housing is a human right. Our administration, I'm committed to building and upholding strong, resilient opportunities for our families to thrive. But I'm also committed to upholding the right of reducing the reliance on fossil fuels, generating new opportunities in the green economy for all Chicagoans. You know, many people do not give Black and brown families enough credit as preservationists, as individuals who understand sustainability. You know, being an environmentalist did not begin with some research lab unit. I can tell you about sustainability. I didn't get a new sweater until I became a grown man. That's what happens when you're the middle child of 10. You know, I just started getting new outfits, and thank you for covering that story in the press as well. So, but our community has always thrived on our ability to sustain and to make sure that what we use, we share, and what we use, we reuse. And I'm very much committed to staying in the vein of what our ancestors have always purposed. This development ensures deeply affordable units while also setting a new standard for sustainable urban development featuring rooftop solar panels, community solar, composting, EV charging stations, and here's the part that I really love, 100% electric. Fifth City Commons will create a sense of, not just a sense of community, but it will strengthen this strong existing community through providing affordable homes, but also making sure that we have community spaces that allow for residents to gather at events here. And I'm looking forward to the first event that's going to be held in this room come this spring, being able to look out on the deck and just enjoy the beauty of the best side of town. Yes. Thank you. All right. You know, this development also, what's so powerful is that it's providing opportunities for local entrepreneurs, small businesses through commercial spaces, and the prioritization of Black-owned food-based businesses. This development will also capture the vibrancy and creativity, which you're already seeing in its murals, and of the cultural fabric of East Garfield Park through public art installations and local artists. Fifth City Commons truly represents a new beginning for its future. But what I'm also excited about is that people who have always called East Garfield Park their home get to make sure that East Garfield Park remains their home. And finally, speaking of community, the name of this development was chosen through a community-driven process to honor the legacy of the Fifth City movement. This movement was a powerful example of radical community organizing from the 1960s, and the development of the Fifth City Commons continues the movement's legacy by fostering community revitalization and empowerment. So we celebrate the great achievement, but let's also make sure that the momentum that is here today, that we continue to build off of it, to build more transformative projects, developing and uplifting the west side of Chicago and beyond. And through the collaboration and partnerships between city leaders, community organizations, and developers, we can replicate this success and build stronger neighborhoods. We're so proud to have supported this project through significant financial investments, and we will continue to work together to create a better, stronger, a safer Chicago. I'll be remiss if I did not acknowledge the historical relevance of this facility to be able to look and see Marshall High School. There's an incredible history, and I know Congressman Davis, I'm trying to get like Congressman Davis because he is the true historian. I just try to act like I'm an historian. So I taught 7th and 8th grade, but you know, there was a young man who understood the importance of affordable housing. He was also a social studies teacher, and his name was Al Raby. And it was Al Raby that invited Dr. King to come to Chicago to make sure opportunities like this exist. And now that same Al Raby who invited Dr. King to see this type of activity become a reality, it was the same Al Raby that was the campaign manager of Mayor Harold Washington, and now a social studies teacher is on the 5th floor to live out that dream. So God bless you all. God bless the greatest freaking city in the world, the city of Chicago.
Thank you so much, Mayor, for your leadership, and I'm glad you talked about the history, because the next person I'm introducing and have the honor to introduce has lived that history for decades on the west side, and we're so glad that Congressman Davis could be here with us to celebrate Fifth City Commons. He first got elected in 1996, re-elected 14 times by a substantial majority, deeply rooted in this community as a school teacher, as a community leader and organizer, and an alderman, and a Cook County commissioner. But he is in Congress serving on the Ways and Means Committee, the most important committee in the House, particularly coming up this year. He's been a champion of affordable housing, and I know he's going to work with Chairman Neal to do everything he can to ensure that the federal resources continue throughout the country, but for the city of Chicago, because this project in particular couldn't happen without the low-income housing tax credit program. The city stepped up and did an amazing job of providing the resources, but we need the federal partner as well. So, Congressman, thank you for being here.
Well, thank you all. Thank you very much. And let me begin by commending our mayor for his tremendous leadership, not just in terms of what's happening in Chicago, but in terms of what's happening throughout the nation. Chicago can be proud of the fact that it has a stand-up mayor who represents the values of this city. And so, Mr. Mayor, I commend you for your leadership and your toughness. You ain't afraid of 47. Right on. Let me also commend Alderman Irvin and our city treasurer, Melissa Irvin, and all of you who are part of this redevelopment of the East Garfield Park community. There's nothing more important and more needed in our city or in our country than affordable housing. The opportunity for people to know that they can live in a decent place, they can be safe and secure. So I want to thank all of those who were involved in the development process. And especially do I want to thank the developers, because I recall being in a meeting across the street and one lady was there who introduced herself. And she said she lived in this community and she saw the action taking place, and she came over and inquired and ended up actually getting a contract to do some of the work. And while there are others trying to make sure that individuals like her don't get a contract and don't get an opportunity, they made sure that she got a chance to participate as part of the workforce of this development. So I'm proud to be here. Proud of that. Yeah, Fifth City got a lot of history. I can imagine how Nancy Jefferson, Minnie Dunlap, and Verdell Trice, those individuals feel knowing this is taking place. That Jason Irvin's father, who was a leader of this community and chaired the Mental Health Center board for a number of years, could look out. And Dorothy Gator, who made fame as the winningest woman basketball coach in America, right here at Marshall High School. So it's a great day. It's a good morning to be here and be a part of it. We're going to keep standing tall. We're going to make sure that low-income housing tax credits remain on the books, that the new market tax credits, which I happen to have been an original co-sponsor of, that still is producing opportunity and monies. So, Mr. Mayor, it's good to be here with you in your city. Keep on taking care of us and representing us, and keep on standing up for the people of the city of Chicago as you have done. Yes, we will stand up to the president when the president is wrong. The mayor will make it right.
Thank you, Congressman Davis. It truly is an honor to have you here with us today. We have a couple more people to hear from on our program, but I wanted just to stop and give a lot of thank yous and acknowledge a lot of people with whom we would not be here today. Cutting edge projects like this don't happen without a lot of help, so please bear with me. I think first and foremost to the POA team here. I was going to start to call everybody out by name, but there's too many of us. This is how they show up, right? They come up in full force and help in ways big and small to put something like this out, and will continue to walk with us every step of the way in the life of this building. But I do want to call out Dr. Dorian Miller, Dr. Will Towns from our board here, in addition to our President and CEO, Aaron Gornstein, Bill Eager, who leaves our Chicago office, Felicia Dawson on our community, Vice President of Community Engagement, Lisa Dixon, the management company, Savara Davis, Evelyn Stark-Spitzer, who are here. We've got employees, we got former employees, Kyle Lilly is here, a lot of people that have worked on this over the years, so we're so very honored. I'm so very honored every day to be part of this team. We have a few other elected officials who have sent representatives here today. Senator Lakeisha Collins has been a big supporter, has been out a lot. She's not here to make it today, but she has sent someone from her office, as well as Representative Williams. Thank you for joining us today. Did I miss any other electeds that are here?
Representative Williams is
Oh my God! Oh my God! Oh my God! Welcome! Wow, they didn't tell me. All right. Welcome. Thank you for being here. Yeah. I think, community, we talked a lot about a community. There's so many wonderful organizations in this community that have supported us, led the way, challenged us. So just to name a few of those, Garfield Park Advisory Council, Garfield Park Community Council, the Hatchery, United to Preserve Affordability and Stability in Garfield Park, United for Better Living, the Mayafa Redemption Project, Mrs. Blair, a lot of people that are here. I think Principal Poole, Jamie Poole across the street has supported us a lot over the years. The West Section Club down the street gave us space to meet over the course of the project. People's Church of the Harvest is our co-developer along Fifth Avenue. Reverend Edie has been a good partner of ours today, and there are so many people to name, but those are just a few of the people that have been important to us along the way. As I mentioned, city staff was really professional, wonderful people work at the city that have helped us along the way. You're going to hear from Commissioner Castaneda in a minute, but Tamara Collins is here, Dina Wayne, Jose Balderrama, a lot of people that have worked very hard to make sure that this project will be a wonderful place to live for years to come. Elevated Chicago is another intermediary. Juan Sebastian Arias is here. He used to work for the mayor's office, but has really been part of envisioning a redevelopment along the Kedzie corridor, and so have been a big champion of ours, ensured we got some resources for retail development and things like that. The Illinois Green Alliance, so many people over the years have helped us. Our construction and design teams are phenomenal. This building would not be standing without them today. A lot of the Skender team is in the back. Sally Carradine with Ashlar Construction is right here. Nia Architects, Anthony Akindele, I don't know where you are today, but it's really awesome that you're here today. You've been a wonderful partner of ours. Perkins and Will was part of the original visioning. These guys are out here today. So many subs, so many consultants, so many wonderful people that have helped to bring this passive house project to a reality. Our own, I think, last but not least, BK Ellison is our construction manager, also part of the Garfield Park Community Council, chairs the board, but has been with us every step of the way as the owner's rep and troubleshooter, and did the beautiful artwork, some of the beautiful artwork downstairs, so wanted to do that. And then finally, we were graced with some amazing artists in this project. That was a recommendation of community that we really let that piece shine and invite some people into work, and all 4 of those 5 folks are here today, so I just wanted to give a shout out to Jemiah Calvin, Dwight White, Oscar Joyo, and Alicia McKinney, who've done amazing work. It's just been a huge privilege and honor to work with them. The money, I think BMO Harris Bank, Allison, we could not have done this without you. Enterprise Community Partners, Chad, Mike, Tracy, all of you guys, who lent the equity for the tax credits to help build the building. There's US Bank, ComEd, Slipstream. I'll stop there. Our attorneys, Applegate and Thorne Thompson. So I know I'm forgetting people. There are so many wonderful people that have worked on this project. But I do want to give a special shout out and some attention to the Department of Housing. I'm going to bring up Commissioner Castaneda here. And actually, I just want to say a word about you professionally. The first passive house building in Chicago was built by Commissioner Castaneda with Lucha several years ago back in the Humboldt Park neighborhood. That was a guiding star for us. And if they did it, we could do it. And so I just want to recognize her history as a housing professional in addition to her leadership right now. So, Commissioner.
Good morning, everyone. What an absolute pleasure to be here in Garfield Park today. Ribbon cuttings are some of my favorite types of events because it means that a new family will find affordable housing in a landscape where that can often feel scarce. I'm incredibly proud to be here today with Mayor Johnson to celebrate this tremendous occasion and this administration's commitment to affordable housing. I've been Commissioner of Housing for a full year now, and in that year, I've been able to witness the tremendous work that goes into these developments from the city side. For that reason, I want to extend the biggest congratulations to the team at POA. Thank you so much for having me, and thank you for continuing to have DOH as one of your closest collaborators as we explore innovative ways to increase the affordable housing stock in this beautiful city. I'm sure many of you perhaps arrived to work or even to this ribbon cutting via public transportation. As a public transportation rider myself, I know about the deep significance of ensuring that those who reside in a neighborhood have the means and the ease to get around. Not only is Fifth City Commons located just a few blocks away from both the Green and Blue Line Kedzie stops, it is also in close proximity to what makes a neighborhood a community. Things like a school, a hospital, and a luscious green park. The building itself has 43 1, 2, and 3 bedroom units with tenant amenities like the terrace, this very room, and more. Also, as has been said, the building has been designed to the extremely energy efficient passive house standards. East Garfield Park stands as such a strong beacon of history in Chicago, as has been said. It was this neighborhood that birthed housing advocates who in 1966 fought for residents to have access to clean and safe homes when the neglect of property was bountiful. It was this neighborhood that faced hardships after the riots in 1968 when only burned buildings and the echoes of dwindled population remained. We are not where we were half a century ago, but there's still much work to be done. Now, Fifth City Commons is here as an expansive physical representation of the mayor, DOH's, and POA's dedication to investing in an area that deserves to reach its fullest potential once more. As part of that investment, the Department of Housing awarded multiple sources of funding to this development. More than $19 million in tax-exempt bonds, $13 million in loan funds, $6.5 million in TIF, as well as the $1.7 million in LIHTC credits that went to the finalization of this project. Some thanks have already been given, so I will echo my thanks to Tamara, Dina, and Jose, as well as the folks who aren't here, like Esther Sorrell, Jesse Salgado, Chris Smith, Adam Walker for the Department of Law, and I see the Chief Sustainability Officer in the back, Angela Tovar, who is priceless in continuing to make sure that we prioritize sustainability and energy efficiency across the city. As I close, I want to take a moment to remind us that as housing activists, we must come together to fight as we did in the 1960s. More now than ever, the need for affordable housing is evident. And more now than ever, obstacles have presented themselves with the objective of dividing us. And in some cases, they want to erase us from our homes, our communities, and the narrative of what it means to be in this country. That is why community is so important today. And one of the best ways to build and preserve community is through building and preserving safe, sustainable housing. The people that will live in these homes are the community. They are our teachers, our first responders, our relatives, and our friends. As we continue into the future, I hope we continue to hold that sentiment close. As we advance affordable housing for every family across all 77 community areas of Chicago, I hope we not only see each other as neighbors within the city, but neighbors with a desire and an obligation to see one another safe and happy. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner. In that pause, I thought of a few more people to thank. TNT Construction right here has been a big partner with us along the way, and we have good things to come. We're putting up a solar array on the roof as soon as the weather breaks to offset half of the building load here. So we're approaching net zero, going to be the whole building powered by clean energy, and that's being supplied by 548 Energy, and they're our partner here today as well. Also wanted to acknowledge Cindy Rubik with DPD, as well as Ernest Bellamy, who are a big part of making this project a reality through zoning and other items. Deanne Connolly and Joycelyn Winter are our immediate managers here at the building. So yeah, I just want to say a few words more. I think we'll go out talking about community. We do, as POA, a lot of projects in a lot of places, and it's rare to see the level of local engagement that we did here. We received input on building design, on public art, on the size of units, the features of units, on retail businesses, you name it. People had and continue to have very high standards for the building. I would like you, I think there's a lot of those people are here today. I think one is prepared to talk. Mrs. Regina Jameson is the president of the Garfield Park Advisory Council and also a consultant to Save On Consulting. Dr. Sheila Vincent, I think, is here as well. People have been guiding us along the way. She's known to everybody in the building for her warmth and is privileged, I guess, to have her say a few words here to close us out.
First of all, good morning, good morning. I've been with this project since 2018, when it was first a discussion. And to be a part of it and to see the fruition of it makes me so humble. My passion, I'm a resident of Garfield Park. I was born and raised in Garfield Park. I'm 70-something years old. So I've been here a long time. Left here, and I decided to come back because this is where I was born and raised. This is my substance right here. With that being said, I've connected myself with the entire area with organizations, making Garfield Park one Garfield Park. This place is so important to me. And I'm just going to give the resident or the people concept. We've had the politicians, we've heard who did the construction. I want to give the connection of what the people really want. This project, when we were first discussing, it had to be community engaged. Just as it was said before, we don't want someone else coming from another place to tell us what they think we should have. We want to be at the table to let them know this is what we want, and we want you to give it to us. And it has to happen. And if it doesn't happen, we're going to hold you accountable. And I just want to thank Alderman Irvin for making it happen for us. He was there right at the beginning, said this seems like something that we can really do. But I also want to say, the connection of the community making this design being what we wanted. Everything that you see here has been constructed or designed with community. Our murals are people who live in the community. Things that are, Brian Edelson has a piece downstairs. He put that, he lives right here. I live right down the street. I was born and raised here. And that's what is so important to me. As a matter of fact, it was so important to me. I want to be in the leasing office. I want to see who's going to be coming up in here. I want to make sure my community is acknowledged first. Now, that's what I'm talking about. You know, this is my community, and I want to see my community get what we're supposed to have. And I want my community to know you deserve this. This is what you deserve. And I want you to feel like, I deserve this, and I'm going to take care of it. And that's what we need in this community. We have to take care of what we have, what has been not given to, it's been hard work, it's been negotiation, it's been back and forth. We got to do this. And we still have little quirks to do, spanking brand new. You know how it is with a new home. You got little things that you didn't think that you had to do, but now you got to do. So we're looking for the residents to know this is a place for you. This is what you deserve. This is what our community deserves. Something spanking brand new. That's all I have to say. And I just want to say thank you so much for having this community to be what it is.
Thank you so much, Ms. Gina. This concludes our program. I think we're going to cut a ribbon. I don't know who's got that ribbon and those scissors, but coming right up. All right. Yes. Let's do it. Yeah. All right.
Nope, everybody in the front, you have to sit down. Brown suit. Brown suit. I'm going to look right here first. Right here first. We're going to cut in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
If they don't get in here, I'm going to send them to you.
We have tours over at 210, refreshments downstairs.
Thank you.